Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be doing a post-test interview with Sarah, who's just taken the ADI Part 3 test and she passed. She's taken my online training course, the DIT kit, so she did Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3, and she's managed to pass everything on the first attempt. If you're interested, you could purchase the DIT kit. You can either buy one part or all three parts. It's up to you. You're going to need to get some in-car training with a trainer. So if you're in Norwich, you can do that with me. So I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you enjoyed the video. She's going to share with you her journey, how the training went, and all that help she got and the hard work she did to achieve this result. Enjoy the video and I'll see you in the next one. All right, yeah, so good, let's do it. So, hi, welcome, Sarah. Thank you for agreeing to do this post-test Part 3 interview. So I hand over to you. You took your test Friday. How did it go?
Yeah, so I've passed first time with a grade B, which I'm a little bit disappointed about with a score of 39 because I really wanted an A. But yeah, it was good with some good feedback. So yeah,
very good feedback. And 39 is very good. What did he say that was in terms of percentage terms? The top, how many percentage of people getting that? Is it top 90%? You're in the top sort of 90 getting a score of that. According to him, and I guess his don't know whether that's nationally or whether that's just his experience. But yeah, he said that was very respectable, and we'll go through like later on what it would have taken to get that to an A.
Yeah,
so that'd be interesting to hear. And how long were you on your trainee license?
I had my trainee license for 4 months, and there was a hold up with tests. So I remember you'd put on one of the chats just to get your test booked. So I booked it fairly early on and it actually came through quite quickly. So, but we had a chat about it and decided, yeah, I may as well just give it a go if I knuckle down. So, yeah.
Yeah, we normally suggest or try to do a first attempt sort of 5 and a bit months in, near the end of your training license. So you got it a bit early, you went for it, which was a good call. You'd done the online course initially, didn't you? So you'd done the online stuff. Then, of course, we got in car for the 40 hours. And then you were, once you're on that, we sort of helped you out with some observations coming out with you.
Yeah.
Did a few of them. How many of them did we do in the end, like with you and me?
Oh, quite a few because I booked a
We
couple
scheduled
of
5.
ones as well. Yeah. So I think, yeah, we probably had 5. I had an extra one with you. And then because you couldn't fit me in kind of when I wanted you to, be Miss Demanding, I had the last 2 with Blair as well, which was really good. And it helped me because Blair observed me with the 2 pupils I was potentially going to use for my Part 3.
All right, good.
So that was quite nice to have him look at both of them and then kind of juggle them around and go, yeah, maybe that one or not that one or whatever. So yeah, that was good.
Brilliant. And you've I know you've been in touch with some of the other PDIs and ADIs within now.
Yeah.
We've got a little Facebook group, haven't we? So
That's great. You know, I think one of the first people, interestingly, that I reached out to was actually a PDI, Jim Mason. I can't remember why he put something on our little group, on our PDI group, and I reached out to him and we had a chat. It was really nice to have somebody else who'd started. I think he started about 6 weeks before me. So yeah, he was really helpful. And then Catherine, I went round her house actually for about 2.5 hours. We were yakking and doing as you do, covering all different routes and various things. Then I did an observation with her. I've been out with Ivan as well, which was really really, really good. I went and did an observation with Blair. Very interesting. Absolutely grilled me in the back of the car. I thought I was going to sit there and be really quiet, and no, I wasn't going to sit there and do nothing. Mike came and observed me twice, and he also did one of my mock tests for me for one of my pupils. And James also came and did a mock test. So by them two doing a mock test for me, I was able to learn kind of how to do that as well. So I'm really grateful. And I've been out with Mike again today to observe him finally.
Really? All right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really, really, really good. So yeah, everyone.
So you couldn't say that you weren't well prepared. I mean, you've done lots of work for this, haven't you? Because you've gone with PDIs, ADIs, gone out myself, Blair, and yeah, that's good.
I'm not a great reader, so I don't take a lot in just by sitting and reading. I like to do, so I learn by visually watching and then trying it myself, and I write endless notes, so which I then have to look back at. But yeah, it's been really valuable, and I think from my point of view, my learning's only just starting now, so I'll continue to do the observations and have you and Blair observe me and everything as well. So
yeah, happy to do that, because what was good that you said you sort of want to continue and you want to get that grade A, don't you? So
I do.
You weren't far from it.
In my standards check, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we can continue to help you, support you do that. And am I right in saying you passed everything first time? You part 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, first time. Yeah, so yeah, I had 0 faults on my part 2, which I was very pleased about. There you go. Ta-da!
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, that's outstanding, isn't it? A 0 fault part 2.
Yeah, that weren't too bad.
So, yeah. So this job is the job for you. So, you know, well, I'm glad you definitely come and decided to have a look at a change of career, because you're an asset. So,
thank you. Yeah.
So how did it? So do you want to talk about the test? You know, who you took, the sort of pupil. You know, to walk us through your test day.
Some people might think I'm a bit crazy. I took a 17-year-old who had literally been in the car 14 hours with me. But she's the first pupil that I've taught that the first time I got in the car with her, I thought, you're a natural. She's absolutely hysterical. She's just so funny. If she thinks it, she says it. And yeah, I just think the pupil that you're going to take, you need to have confidence in them that they're going to make a mistake, but that you're not going to be terrified all the time and thinking, I'm going to have to be on the dual controls or whatever. So, and if they are someone who you get along with nicely, you've got that rapport in the car as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think she had Brad in fits at one point. But yeah, that's just her. She's just funny. So and that relaxed me as well. So,
and Brad's the examiner, obviously. So
yeah.
So you took her, and what was your thinking in terms of the plan?
There's no plan. You can't plan. It all goes wrong if you plan it. So I picked her up early, and she is the kind of pupil that I never know what I'm going to do. I think every other pupil, we get to the end of the lesson and we say what we're going to do next week, because there's always something you can work on. But with her, we get to the end of the lesson and I say, what do you want to work on next week? And it is just a case of, let's just drive and pick up what's wrong. So we drove to the test centre. I drove her to the test centre. Then we had about half an hour driving round, and we picked up that she was struggling with gaps on the roundabouts and clearance. Sorry, not clearance, beating. So either of those topics. So we discussed that she was finding gaps more difficult. So when I met Brad, he asked me what we were going to do. And I said, well, basically, there's no particular plan, but this is what we're going to start on, was the gaps. And then I think within the first 2 or 3 roundabouts, she was really struggling with her gear choice. So we changed it. We just said, right, okay, let's do gears. You're happy to do that? We agreed that she was happy to work on gears. So just, yeah, getting that speed and getting the correct gear for the roundabout. So yeah, that's what we initially worked on. I was happy that she was doing that properly, and she got it. You know, she was picking the correct gear. And I don't know if I panicked a little bit and just thought, I'm really bored with going around in circles now. And she was getting it. So we talked about it, and I said to her, are you okay? She said, yeah. How do you feel about that? Yeah, I think I've got it now. And then I decided we agreed that we would move on to the meeting, which we did. She had a need. It was great. But even within the meeting situation, I was still having to prompt her with gears.
So at that point, did you go to a different practice area? Did you move on to
a
new sort of
yeah.
setting? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we literally moved from all the roundabouts into a tighter area where there's lots of meeting, lots of situations where, well, we had lorries and buses and all.
Yeah, I think you said you went to Thorpe Roads. You got lots of parked cars and like you say, buses come around. Yeah.
So there was a need, which was fine. But at the end, Brad said I could have kept going with the gears at the roundabout, ventured into that a bit more. We can talk about that a bit later. But yeah, so no, it was good. So yeah, she coped well, and yeah.
Were there any like safety critical incidents where you thought, oh, I need to pull you up, or did you have to intervene at all?
Yeah, so we had one on a roundabout where she'd cut lanes. So it was just a case of just correcting that steering wheel, bringing her back over to the left. She just drifted right. And we had a bit of a chat about that. One thing that she did do, she pulled out on one roundabout, and there was a car coming round. It's a little bit tight, and because she was a bit slow, she probably made him brake a little bit. And because of the roundabout,
is that the black Focus that he's right?
Yeah. So because of the roundabout and because of the direction we were going, and then it will more or less go straight onto another roundabout. I'd spoken to her about it, so Brad knew that I'd seen it, but I then didn't pick into that enough.
In his words, you went, ooh.
Yeah.
And he said, good. So he knew you were aware.
Yeah. I spoke to her about it. Yeah.
But never come back to it.
No. And I think, to be honest, in the actual moment, and you're so, concentrating on what you're doing, and because of where it happened as well, and the fact that we were then coming off, because it was a rock, we were turning right, we were then coming off, and then she needed to move over to the left lane, then we'd come onto another roundabout, blah, blah, blah. I think that just went ping.
Was it that she picked a good gap, but just didn't get on with it enough? She kind of was a bit slow to get moving.
Too slow. The gap was okay. I would say it was on the cusp of being a bit dodgy, but had she have just gone more swiftly, she'd have been fine.
Was it gear related? Was she in too high a gear that she couldn't get going?
No, I don't know. It was just because we were stopped, so it's just that she just didn't get away quick enough. So could have looked at that better. Could have just dug into it. So, but yeah, that was the only time she did it.
That's what pushed you the A, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
He said with that, he said I could give you another 4 points.
Yeah, and that would have then tallied down. So I just think in the heat of the moment and with everything that was going on, I knew it, I said it, so I saw
Yeah.
it, said it, didn't
Yeah.
necessarily thought it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
but never mind.
So do you want to sort of share some of the other feedback you got? I mean, because it was very complimentary when he said a lot of good stuff. And yeah, can you remember what he said? Because I made some notes afterwards,
Yeah, not
what
sure.
it would take for the A.
Yeah, just
Apart from the
digging in,
moment.
yeah, digging in that little bit deeper. And I could have, instead of going on to the meeting, which he did agree there was a need, she did need it, I could have carried on doing the roundabouts and then looked at which gear. So took LADA to another level. So we'd already spoken about MSPSL and LADA when we first started. And he said it would have been a case of getting her to look a bit quicker, looking at the roundabout, thinking which gear do I actually need, not always going down to second. So if she could go straight away, she can go in third. Maybe if she popped it into first because she thought she was going to stop, looking at popping it into second if she could carry on going, if she was still rolling, obviously. It's just that extra bit, just digging that little bit deeper.
That's it. So yeah, so because the theme was you kind of started talking about gears, so if you just got that nailed a bit more, so like you say, just that if maybe she could have gone on third on some of them bigger roundabouts rather than down to seconds, definitely got
Yep.
that. And yeah, I did because he did say at the end, looking early and appropriate gear would have made it better. And I just wondered because he said about linking it, what that's why I asked about the black car that she didn't get going, whether that was gear related, whether that had just tied up. But yeah, if you say she
Yeah.
wasn't an appropriate gear, she just didn't get on with it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we were stopped. In fact, I'm positive we were. We were stationary, so she had to be in first gear to then get off. She just didn't get the gas on quick enough. There's a bit of an incline there up to that roundabout as well, or onto the roundabout to then come round. So yeah, a little bit more gas. That's all she needed, just a little bit more gas.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I just could have picked that a bit more. So.
Yeah, so very good. So anything else you'd like to share about the experience? If you had to give anyone any tips for if anyone watching this has got a part three coming up, any advice you could give them?
Yeah, honestly and truthfully, go with an open mind. Don't go and set yourself already before you get there that you are going to do this because you need to change it. And I think I was stuck in a bit of a rut with I've got to, before I've got to do a lesson on, I don't know, roundabouts, but you've got to be specific. So it's got to be either gears or approach or whatever. But as soon as you see them make any kind of mistake, you have to pick up on it and then change the plan with agreement to them, with them. So, and I think, yeah, the see it, say it, sort it, that cost me my A, that did. If I'd have just picked into that a little bit more with that, just that one car. And choose a pupil that you've got a rapport with. One that you can have a bit of a joke with, you're relaxed with. So yeah, I think that would be my top tips. But don't plan it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him again today because I mean, I don't know if you've heard, we had another couple pass today.
Oh, have you? Oh, great! I haven't heard because I've been out all day.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so Chantel
Oh,
passed,
she did. Oh, fab! I knew her. I knew she was today. That's great.
and then Hugo.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
so I have
Awesome.
a couple of these if they're up front.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
really good. Oh, well
yeah, no,
done.
yeah, it's brilliant. So,
No, that's really good news.
yeah, I think it work. It does work, and everyone helps each other. You can't. I don't think you can really do it on your own. You got to see how other people do it. you might see something that you don't like. You think, oh, well, I wouldn't do that. But then you do see something you do like, and it's
Yeah,
just finding your way, isn't it, that you feel comfortable with, to that suits you and make it work.
yeah. I just think you learn something from everybody. It's amazing. I learned things today from Mike as well. And hopefully I gave him a little nugget as well.
Oh,
So yeah, there you go. But no, it's really useful. It is really, really useful. And I can't thank you guys enough, really, and
oh,
Sam and Jenny. So yeah, it's really good.
well, we appreciate it, and yeah, enjoy your new career, and we'll continue to help and support you and get you that A.
Yeah, absolutely.